All right, we have the liminal state.
Now we're moving on to a new phase of our episode, the liminal state.
Really?
This is all about phase changes, really. Getting from one point to another in the way we think or the way we believe.
And so now it's the vote for Trump. What is going to make somebody vote for him? You talked about your friend. And
Yeah.
You said that he would vote for Trump regardless. Like, there's so many pros in his head that it's just a
Probably.
deal.
Yeah, probably. But when it comes to the liminal state, though, I'm more interested in sort of the person who doesn't have his or her mind made up. What drives that person towards one of the candidates, in this case, Trump? So how do you go from being an undecided or independent to being a Trump voter? Because certainly I think some of the polls in 2016 showed this, that like there's quite a few people that did that. They weren't sure and they just voted for Trump eventually.
Let's do this. Let's take us, because we only know us,
Yeah.
back to that liminal state. So,
Back to when we were undecided.
not necessarily undecided. Yeah, I mean, were you ever undecided to vote for Trump? Okay. So
That's a no.
what we're gonna need to do is almost an exercise of like, you take on who you are, and then what's the first thing we change that's going to make it easier to get to that point.
So we imagine we're average American.
Okay. So number one would be just being white. That would change a lot, right?
If I was white, yeah, I'm sure I'd see the world in different ways.
Yeah.
And would that make you more likely to vote for Trump? Maybe. I think
The numbers say so.
numbers say so, and I think, yeah, evolutionary psychology tells us that is true as well. You know, back in the day when we were hunter-gatherers, I always go back to hunter-gatherer days. I feel like I should be living in those days. I'm in the wrong fucking era. Yeah. But back when we were hunter-gatherers, Enrique, lost my train. I'm going so fucking deep here.
No. Okay, so specifically, so we become white. Okay, now there's white liberals and there's a lot of white guys.
Yeah.
So
what would white Enrique do? WWWED.
So I'm gonna pick where I'm from, and there's lots of white people there.
You can't be white Enrique?
Yeah, I can be, because I'm like, I can be still from Northern Virginia, but it's different because my family would be from like Pennsylvania and everything like that. And
I kind of prefer to white Enrique, but it's okay. We're white Randy or something.
Yeah, but like we have to, like, that's a big change. Is it like it's the biggest? Okay, so it's smaller change. There's Latinos that are actually interested in voting for Trump.
Oh, for sure. There's quite a few.
Christianity, religion, number
Sure.
one thing that's going to change that.
Sure.
Can I imagine being religious? Yes. Can I imagine? This is why I keep mentioning abortion. For me, that's the liminal state. For example, in some ways, I would vote for Trump because certain things that he might do for investment and shit like that could be beneficial to me, because I'm at a certain level where I could take advantage of that.
Yeah, you have lots of investments. You want to cut in your capital gains tax rate.
Yeah, I mean, eventually we'll have that. But well, anyway, yeah, actually I do, because just having a 401k.
Yeah,
that applies.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. If I feel pretty safe, like also that certain things aren't going to like that, and I think in the long run too, I would think that I'm pro state rights. Thinking, being like, you know what, I don't fucking care if Trump makes it easier for Alabama to outlaw abortion if I can make sure that never happens in Colorado. Right?
Okay.
I mean, it's not, I think, like an outright thought, but it's like...
So white Enrique from Northern Virginia, or white Randy, with family from Pennsylvania, and from Northern Virginia originally, you might not care what happens in Mississippi.
But that changes too many things. So it can't be that. Because it's just like everything.
I'm really digging this white Enrique
idea.
Yeah, this like mental escapade I'm taking. But okay.
Well, in some senses, like I would be the equivalent of white in Bolivia,
Sure.
right? Like, and like people call me joven, like
Young guy?
little kids,
Sure.
old women,
Sure.
old men call me joven. Just
Because you're white?
yeah, exactly, right?
I understand the connection between white and being called young man.
Well, oh, that's it's a caste system essentially,
Okay.
and the rural native addresses the colonizer as joven.
That's Hovind.
Sir,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Hi, sir. Hi,
Sure.
slave times.
Slave times with White Enrique.
Okay, so White Enrique. There we go. So, family from Pennsylvania. So, we're German. I like the Germans. Let's go with German, right?
White Enrique is German. I'm not going to
Yeah.
delve too much
So-
into that. Okay.
I have a father who is a business owner. I'm going to inherit that business.
Sure.
I like Trump. Like all the right financial.
Well, you like him because you have this idea that he's going to keep the environment low tax, right? And low regulation.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I would have it'd also be a religious thing. It's very easy to imagine someone in Virginia being, pro-life and that being a thing. There's a lot of Catholics, that kind of thing.
Okay, so I mean, you've gone through a few scenarios where do the personal interests, personal business interests.
No. So now, I did it. Not I know that the bid was White Enrique, but my bid I think is the Christian Enrique.
Okay.
That would vote for that.
Sure.
That would have to be for you. What part about your personality, outside of the whole, just changing everything about yourself? Like, do you know anyone in your family or in your friend group, like kin group, that is voting for Trump?
I don't think I do. If anyone is, they haven't told me, and I
Okay.
can't. I'm
So,
guessing no.
Knowing what you know, what would you have to change about your personality, about your beliefs and values, to
I think that's a better way to frame the question. What would have to change about your beliefs to make you a potential Trump voter? So I think one, I would have to have, for example, what's happening right now. I would really value stability. So because we're living through somewhat turbulent times economically, but especially now with sort of with lots of these racial issues that are manifesting on the streets, if I really valued stability, whether I was maybe I had some gene that made me more predisposed to value stability, or that's just something I grew up really believing strongly in, yeah, I think a vote for Trump is plausible. And another
for stability?
for stability. Another reason could be going back to the whole Rust Belt argument. If I was a worker, if I was a manufacturing worker in, I don't know, Canton, Ohio, or Erie, Pennsylvania, any number of towns that used to be prosperous because of.
Could you be?
Could I be?
Yeah.
If certain circumstances went different ways, yeah, I could see myself being a factory worker. And if that's what I know, that's what the people around me know. And I come to the opinion that the reason those factories are moving elsewhere is because our tax code favors outsourcing, and China, for example, has lower labor environmental standards, and they could do it for much cheaper, but at a huge human cost. And we let those companies go. Yeah, I'd be pissed off. Not probably vote for Trump. Yeah.